Hey everyone, Sarah Jean here, doing another video, yay! I wanted to do this little video because I have a rather new traveler's notebook. I've had it for, oh gosh, maybe a month, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check inside my planner to tell you for sure. But I wanted to share the new planner. I wanted to share with you, some journaling. I wanted to do a review on this particular traveler's notebook, kind of flip through and sort of be more comprehensive than I have in the past. I'm gonna do this one shot because I have two little kids behind me eating dinner and watching cartoons, and God only knows how long they will stay quiet for. So we're just going to roll with it. I apologize if there's likes or ums or pauses. I am just going for it. So to begin with, this is my traveler's notebook. It is in pocket size and or field note size, which means that the inserts it traditionally holds would be about 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I personally use field notes. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know my love for field notes. Love them, love them, love them. Reasons I love them. I prefer them over passport size because they're a little bit taller in height, which I like, whereas passport is kind of square. I feel like field notes or other nameless notebooks of the same size, 3.5 by 5.5, are wonderful because they sort of have the same dimensions as like an 8.5 by 11 or a 5 by 7. They give you that nice rectangle shape. I really enjoy that. And I've been collecting field notes for the last 2 or 3 years, so I have an abundance of them, and I've really discovered that mapping out my own inserts is what works best for me, and that I'm not wasting what I have, and so they are just perfect. This is my all-time favorite traveler's notebook. I apologize to my previous traveler's notebooks. I'm pretty sure unless something dastardly happens to this one, I will never own another. And if something does happen to this one, I will probably be replacing it with the same one. So let's get into this. This is a pocket size, field note size, traveler's notebook by Chic Sparrow. That's chicsparrow.com, I believe. If you're watching my video, you probably already know who she is. She makes some wonderful traveler's notebooks. This particular one, I waited months and months and months and months for. This is a Mr. Darcy. Yes, the name Mr. Darcy, as in my Mr. Darcy, as in Pride and Prejudice, as in huge Jane Austen fan here. Really fell in love with the name, but also I fell in love with the quality, and I fell in love with the type of particular leather that Chic Sparrow uses for her Mr. Darcy. Her Mr. Darcy comes in, I believe, 4 different colors. She calls it Mr. Darcy for the particular leather that she uses and the type of finishing that's on it. I believe she has toffee, which is this, which is, I would say, a medium to dark brown. It has lovely markings in it. I'll go into more detail, but she also has a creme brulee, which is sort of a lighter brown tan color. She also has a black, and then she has a burgundy. And what I love about the Mr. Darcy leather is the fact that it ages and marks up. One of the things I really enjoyed about the Midori brand traveler's notebook is how the leather showed wear. I am one of those people that gets hesitant about planners and journals and the way that I don't want them to get messed up. And so I tend to go towards darker tones, earthy tones, and leathers that when they mark up, they look better and not worse. This, like an original Midori, only in the sense that it shows its wear. You get nicks, marks, scrapes. You know, I throw this in my bag with my keys. It marks up, it dings up, and rather than marring the leather, it adds to the character. It makes it look that much more wonderful, which I really enjoy. I've had a couple traveler's notebooks that I've loved, but I just felt too precious to use them on a regular basis, and they've ended up being traveler's notebooks that live at home on my desk. And I had a couple of other ones that housed a lot, which I loved, but then I found myself trying to come up with more reasons to have inserts in them. And so with using this, because it has 4 elastics, though you could probably fit about 6 inserts in here comfortably, I've enjoyed sort of forcing myself to downsize. A little bit more about this leather. As you can see, it has a sheen to it, but from what from the research I've done, I've heard that the sheen does go away. It's part of the process, I guess, that brings the color up to the surface, and then it gets buffed, which makes it shiny. But with regular use and handling, the shine does diminish and sort of becomes a matte finish. I love it both ways. As you can see, there are definite color differences. You can see lighter, darker shades, the sort of ribbing. I have not rolled this. Not that I don't like the rolled look. I do. I love it. I just wanted this to age naturally. I didn't want to hyper age it. I feel that rolling it hyper ages it to get it to a certain look of wear that it would have gained over a few years. And I sort of wanted to get that slowly. And because I know it's just going to look wonderful the more aged it becomes. I do have it inscribed, Simply Happy. It's my motto for life. And I'm super happy. This is the deluxe, which means it has the stitching on the outside, and it also has pockets on the inside. If you're interested in my charms, these I got at Michael's. The collection is called Pemberley, which I thought was perfect because Pemberley is the house where Darcy lived. And I think it was like 4 separate charms, and I combined them all into one. I just have them on a lobster clasp. That's enough about the book. Oh my God, I feel like I spent way too much time on this. So, opening it up, this is the standard layout for Chic Sparrow's Deluxe. It has 2 credit card size pockets within a full length in the back. I simply keep 2 little cards that I made myself that I have washi tape on. This was just scrapbook paper that I laminated, wrapped washi tape. No big secret, nothing new there. And in the big pocket, I have some just journaling cards. The back has a pocket as well, sorry. It's a secretarial pocket. I keep some sticker pads in here and my notepad. I love this notepad. I have a feeling it was made by the company Mead, M-E-A-D, although I bought a pack of it forever ago. It's a little bit smaller than 3.5 by 5.5, and I love it because the sheets are perforated. I haven't been able to find this particular one again, but I do know if you go on Amazon.com and you search for like small notepad, there's one that comes up that's very similar. It's a slightly larger. I actually have some on order. They're not here yet, sorry, so I can't show them to you, but wonderful. I use these for, obviously, testing colors, simple things I need to jot down, rip off, throw away. Great. Her deluxe models also come with a pen loop. This pen loop is big enough to fit any pen you could possibly want it to fit. It's quite large. This is a 5-barrel, it's not a Coletto, it's a Sigma, what's it called? Oh, Uni-style fit, sorry. Sigma, I don't know where Sigma came from. Uni-style fit, it's a 5-barrel. That fits quite comfortably. And then I have my other one linked to my trifold dashboard, which I will show you. I made the trifold dashboard, very simple. I actually had Jane Austen scrapbook paper, and let me take this off and show you. All I did was take off the pin, three pieces of it, 3 little cutouts. I made them to be about the same size as a filled note cover. Cut the pieces out, laid them side by side, laminated them, recut those 3 laminated pieces out, and I simply hinged them together with packing tape. I put a layer of packing tape and then a layer of washi to make it a little bit prettier, and then another layer of packing tape to make sure that the washi stayed. Simple, simple. Then it just simply goes behind the insert, and what's great is not only does it act as a cover and a dashboard if you wanted to stick stuff, but it acts as a bookmark, which I love. I'm gonna go quickly through, oh, and the crease I can use as my second pen holder, yay! So my first insert is a field notes. This is the Traveling Salesman edition. You can't find it anymore unless you're willing to spend an arm and a leg and give up your firstborn child on eBay. But I do love it because it's a ledger edition. Their Ambition edition, which was, I believe, last winter's edition, Also had a ledger booklet. They're no longer available on the Field Notes website. I believe you can find them at other Field Note retailers. You'd have to do some searching online. But I love it. This one you can't find anymore, but I love it. It's this wonderful sort of green ledger paper. This first insert is my brain dump, which just basically means anything I need to write down that doesn't belong in my planner and doesn't belong in my journal goes in here. So I've got like the 2015 mail postage rates. I have a list for all of the Christmas cards I want to write to family and friends. I've got a list of splurges that I want to buy myself eventually. I have a list of insert ideas and journal ideas. This is sort of temporary slash permanent. If there's anything in here I want permanently, I'll eventually move it either onto the next brain dump or onto, who knows, something else. These were health tracker categories, which you'll see later. I have a health insert in here. This is just notations for how I want to be simply happy, which is my life motto. Just recently, actually today, I made a list of focus 15 things to simply be. This was adapted from quite a few things I've seen online lately. Also, if you've heard of the book The Secret, or there's this other like book, The Miracle of Something. I don't even know what it is. They're quite wonderful. They're just sort of books that help you focus on the positive and the now. This list specifically is from the blog that's called organizeyoursoul.com. It was posted in a Facebook group today, the Tiny TN Facebook group. And I just really loved it, and it just brought together so many other things I had been reading recently that I wanted to jot down what she'd written in her traveler's notebook in my own and sort of adapt it towards myself and bring in some of the other things I'd been recently doing. And this is sort of just 15 things to do to get you out of your own headspace, to make you feel happy, to change up your mind, to re-energize yourself, refocus yourself, blah, 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 blah. If you want more info, I would definitely go to the organizeyoursoul.com website. Look at what she put in her insert, adapt it for yourself. I really loved a lot of this, and it just hit home with so many of the other things I had been thinking about lately. The rest of this insert is so far blank. It will also get filled up with random musings, and we'll go on from there. My next insert is my planner insert. I've purchased field note size planner inserts, and really drawing them out myself has been my favorite and my most consistent way of doing it. I really like this way of doing it. It's fairly simple. All I've been doing is drawing out the month, just sketching out. I was doing it in pencil at first. I did one insert in pen, and then I realized that this insert, my favorite way to do it was to do it in colored pencil. So you still had the softness of the background so that when I wrote everything else in pen, it sort of popped a little bit more. And I did a little bit decorating just purely because it's nice to be constantly reminded of the season it is for myself. I liked being reminded that November was warm, and it was beginning of fall, and it was Thanksgiving. My calendar that I used, my month at a view, I used for forward planning as well as jotting down things I want to remember afterwards. If I wanted to remember when I did a particular thing, like, oh, okay, November 16th, that's when my Mr. Darcy Traveler's Notebook arrived. I have that date written down on the calendar. It's just kind of nice. And then it's easy because I can use that for forward planning, because I have, in this insert, I don't know, I think through May of 2016 I was able to fit. So that makes it really nice. After my month, I have a day at a view. I do the week on the left side and just notes on the right side. And what the left side I use for the week is for my work schedule, my things that actually have appointments, holidays, and then my to-do list basically is what goes on the right. I do a little bit of decoration here as well, just because it's nice to be reminded of the season. It makes the month feel more special, at least to me. Then I use this clip to sort of hold the last month together and the next month's monthly view open. Forward planning, a little bit of decoration, and this is basically the same for every page. Like I said, I do have this, I think, mapped out through, let's see, we've got February, March, You know, I did different colors for each month, and the whole entire month stays the same running color, so it's sort of cohesive in my brain. So it looks like through March. I do color coding for two reasons. One, I like the rainbow effect, but two, certain colors, it's just how my brain works. Certain colors stick out for certain things. So I have a color, my children have colors, my husband has a color, crafty things have a color, male things have a color. And when I'm looking at my schedule or my to-do list, seeing that color signifies a particular thing. Works for me, I like it that way. I have a paper clip here just holding it open to the week. Occasionally I throw in flags for important dates, and it's just fun. It's fairly simple, but I like it. It's fairly quick to do, and honestly, this probably took me less than an hour one day on my day off. But what I liked about it is just taking that hour and sort of drawing this all out for myself really cleared my mind, and it was almost sort of meditative, and I really enjoyed it. And taking that a little bit of time to do it and set it up just felt really good. It felt, I don't know, I mean, I've ordered inserts before and I've liked them, but I didn't get that same satisfaction as drawing mine out. Seems silly, but I don't know, it worked for me. My next one insert is my journal. I only have 4 inserts in here. My journal. Sorry, my video stopped. My next insert is my journal insert. You guys have seen my journals before. Fairly simple. I like to journal. I don't do it as often as I want to. It's certainly not every day. Sometimes I do it once a week maybe, and then I do a few pages at once. Particularly right now, I'm really like presetting my pages like I always do. But I'm just putting, just a couple pages advance, putting a splash of color, either using like the Tim Holtz Distress Stains or plain old watercolors, or in this instance, this was just a highlighter. And I only do a couple pages in advance because then sometimes I decide I don't like the busyness and I want to do something else, and that gives me freedom to do something else after that. This is working out great. A few of my other inserts have been super busy and super loud and definitely more like art journal style, and this is a lot more cleaner and white. That just happens to be the mood I'm in. I've got a couple of pages of ideas for things I want to keep up with in my journal. So like this is the Lister's Got a List December prompts. Google Lister's Got a List. Her website will pop up. It's free. Every month she does these lists of prompts for journaling or for planning, and they're wonderful, and I wrote down my favorite ones. Romney from Romney's Realm, sorry. She's also doing a sort of one book December, which is a take on her one book July, but it's a little bit more focused on like the prompts and things. And so I wrote down some of the prompts I really liked about that, and then some of the planning ideas she had. She's a wonderful, wonderful video. If you don't know who Romney is, Google her, look her up. Romney's Realm. Romney spelled like that. She's amazing. Her YouTube videos are wonderful. And so I wrote some of those things down. Cassandra, who's one of my friends on Facebook, who's also really active in the Traveler's Notebook world, she has this 1 word a day thing that she's doing, and basically she just has the list of words and you're supposed to write whatever comes to your mind for that word, and I really enjoyed that. I'm going through and marking them off as I do them. Like I said, I work full-time and I'm a mom, so I don't necessarily get to do the things I want to do every day. So I'm just going to mark them off as I get them done. And then this was just my own little list of things I want to remind myself constantly of what I want to put in my journal so I can refer back to it, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I wanted to start doing that in my journal, and then I forget to. And then I just have the next couple of pages, sort of preset up with some ink or some watercolors just because. Finally, my last insert I'm using is a health insert. I know everyone's really health conscious come January. Everyone wants to sort of start the new year feeling good about themselves. I'm the same way. It also helps to clear the mind. I'm doing a diet bet. If you don't know what a diet bet is, go ahead and Google it. There's a website and an app called Diet Bet. And basically you can join a group of people wanting to lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, and you actually put money into a pot between like $10 and like $100 depending on what you're joining in for. And you have to do this very, you know, scientific photographic weigh-in, and then if you meet the goal in the time frame set, you not only get the money back that you put in, but for all of the people in your group who didn't also meet the goal, their money gets split up amongst the people who did. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of an extra incentive. And so to help with that, I have a tracker. This I've just drawn out myself. It's my Healthy Life tracker. I've got starting from today until the 4th of January because that's when the diet bet is running from. And just a list of what I want to keep track of, and if I accomplish them for that day, I'm putting a little circle or dot into the square. So like, did I eat a good breakfast, a light lunch? What did I do for dinner? Did I snack healthy? Did I hydrate? Did I have my vitamins? No meat, no binging. You know, am I feeling balanced that day? Did I sleep well? Did I practice my Simply Happy mantras? Did I journal? Did I get to read a little bit? Did I get to write a little bit? This is all what I'm keeping track of. And then every day after that, I have a day per page to just literally keep track of that specific day. And that is it. That's all I have in here right now. I'm sorry it's getting noisy. My baby is yelling at me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped someone. I hope I gave someone some ideas. I hope if someone was looking into getting a Mr. Darcy, that they have a little bit better idea of how wonderful it is. Oh, one thing I did not mention about the Mr. Darcy is the inner leather to me felt really sort of dry and scratchy. And I don't know if that's because when I read about the process, sort of brings the oils up and then the oils are buffed, which is why then it ends up becoming matte later on. But I just used some of my Lush R&B hair cream conditioner on it, which just smells heavenly, and just rub some in, and that's been slowly moisturizing it. But it's just something to note, something I didn't know. The inside of this leather, or rather the back side of this leather, is a bit sort of dry and scratchy feeling to the touch. And so it's not, because you know the backside of most other leather Traveler's notebooks that I've had have been this sort of backside, but they've been very soft, and this wasn't. And I just wanted to include that. I hadn't seen that in any of the other videos anyone mentioned that. So that is how it feels, but definitely it seems to soften, maybe just a little bit of conditioning and time. It's wonderful, it's gorgeous, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was so long, and hopefully it's not too noisy in the background, and I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!